Thank you for listening. If you like what you're hearing, please like, share, and subscribe. Now to the show. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Balance and Sanity with your girl Monica. I just wanted to welcome my new guest for tonight. It's a friend of mine, known her. It's so sad. For a long time. Actually seen her grow up.
Yeah, you're about to date yourself by like a lot.
But I don't look it, so it's fine.
No. Yeah, that's true.
So her name is Brittney. So welcome, Brittney.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, are you really?
I am.
You know, I don't want you to get nervous. Just let me know if you're nervous.
Oh, I'm totally nervous. I mean, I think when you point a mic in anyone's face,
right,
it's just you're automatically nervous.
Oh, I get it. I totally get it. I think for me, everyone that I've brought on here thus far, I've done like phone conversations like I was telling you, and I think for them it makes it easier because then they forget that
you're actually right. I don't think the being recorded part is the nerve-wracking part. It's the visual sign that you're being recorded. It's just like, if I didn't see this, I'd be good money.
Right.
I'd be like, whatever.
Gotcha. So today we have Brittney on the show with us. We are going to be discussing a couple of topics and just getting her point of view. We are, I want to say about 10 years difference in age.
About that. Maybe a little bit more.
Oh boy.
let's say 10.
Okay, we're gonna say 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get my point of view and you're gonna get hers from the younger generation.
Lessons from a youngin'.
So typically here on the show, what we do is I go over pretty much my week, month. Well, it's been a while since I've done this, so it'll probably be a month overview.
Yeah.
Of my life, what's been happening, what's been taking place, moving, shaking, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just discuss a little bit about like frivolousness and highlights of whatever we want to talk about. And then we get into topics.
I love it.
Okay, great.
Totally down.
So to start off, it has been a while since I've done this, and it's because I've been busy on
other millions of projects. I don't know how many of your listeners, I'm sure your listeners, a lot of them know you personally. And if you know Monica, you know that Monica does 80 million things. And then Monica also tries to be the best at everything.
Every single thing.
We were just talking about this and you were like, I just want to do this. I'm trying to get serious with this. I'm like, how can you get serious with everything that you do?
Right. Like, how can you get more serious?
How does your brain manage?
So for me, I've realized over the years that if I'm not doing multiple things at once, I get bored very easily. So for me as a person, although they say multitasking is not smart because it's not effective, I've come to realize like if I'm working on one project, I'm a tasker. So I'll bust out that one project and then be like, I need something else to do.
Right.
As opposed to if you give me like 12 million things at the same time and overload me and say, hey, I need this to be done. Now I'm doing like constantly moving and my brain is constantly working. So for me, it like makes me, I don't know if it feels better, but it just like, it gives me that drive to continue.
Yeah. When you always have something to do, you always feel like fulfilled.
Yeah.
I get that.
So there's been sewing. Sewing is coming slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing that I like to sew and I really appreciate like being able to wear, like I went to my cousin's wedding a couple of weeks ago and I was like working hard and I can see the difference from when I started sewing till now. Granted, I don't sew every day. I knocked that dress out in like 3 days.
Hey.
And I was just like, look at me.
What kind of dress were we talking?
It was like a little bit off the shoulder, to the floor, high split, bright yellow.
Whoa.
Dress. Yeah, it was really, really cute. And when I did everything, I was just like so surprised that it took me less than a week to complete the entire thing. And I'm talking about these are after hours. So it's not like a full 8-day coming in sewing. It's like, oh, came home from this work, just watch TV.
So
it's like 10 o'clock. Oh, I feel like sewing now.
Whoa, okay. That's insane. And did people say to you like, oh my God, where'd you get your dress?
Yes. Everybody was like, this dress is so pretty. And I was like, I made it.
Actually, I made it.
Yeah, like, oh my God. And one of my cousins, he said, this is a really cute dress. Like, and I was just like, yeah, I made it. He was like, what? You want to teach me how to sew? And I was like, whoa. we're not going there yet.
Right.
So that's what I like about sewing. Then there's the Sip and Savor with my sister, like you know.
I love Sip and Savor.
We love you because Vegandale, without you and Malika, let me tell you.
Listen, I loved Vegandale, and I honestly enjoyed that so much. Mostly my favorite part of Vegandale was like people's reaction to what you guys made. It was just so like awesome to see people come up to you and be like, I love this. I'm coming back. I just came back. This is my third one. It's like, wow. Like, I didn't even make this drink and I feel like, oh my God, thank you so much. Taking thanks and praise from people who are not praising me. But like, it was it was great to be a part of it. Honestly.
I get you. That was definitely a different experience. Because even for me, like standing out there, I'm not staying on this line more than once.
Right. And that was a long, I'm telling you, you like would turn, like put your head down, look up, and the line was like, it was consistently long for hours. It like never let up. Which
is good because then, you know, you're making money. But at the same time, I feel like it was hot. I'm not standing on that line. You got me for an hour. I'm ready to go. People were coming back 4 or 5 times, like you said. It was just like the good feedback. And I think now we're trying to consistently move that along by like trying to get into stores. So that was Vegandale. Then what else has been going on with me? Just been health stuff. But that's about it. That's life.
That is life in a nutshell. Well,
I'm working. Yeah. And then I'm working 3 jobs.
Oh my goodness.
2 jobs part-time and then a project.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know about this project.
So the project, I never told you about the project?
No.
Oh, so I was hired by a religious organization to do research on schools within New York to see what their campus ministry is like.
Oh.
So it's like a 6-month project that I'm working on, like just doing online research and then connecting with them and then seeing what their ministry is like.
Yeah.
So like people that listen to me, they know I'm very much like in church. So they know I've graduated from school. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So glad. So yeah, so that's me. That was a lot.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing though.
Thank you. Accomplished. When you see me on TV is when I'm going to feel fulfilled.
Oh my goodness. This is what she's aiming for. This is why she's doing 80 million things, because 1 or 2 of those things will stick. I mean, I think they'll all stick.
Yeah.
Truly. So
I feel like the sewing part is just going to be like things I'm going to always do. Especially because now shopping, I don't like what's in the stores. I'm not paying $20 for this share.
Especially when you know you could do better. Like you can make it on your own. What's even the point?
Right. And I know I'm like, oh, I can use real materials.
Right. And I have a friend who is into sewing as well. I think you guys are magical people because I don't get it. I mean, it doesn't make sense in my brain. It's the sewing part. I'm trying to learn it, but you know, it is what it is. It takes time. But she will go to thrift stores and she'll thrift and then she'll revamp and remake things based off of, you know, like make it to look like what she wants it to look like. And obviously you didn't spend that much money because you thrifted it.
Right.
And I'm like, that is so smart.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. And I'm always just like, how do you look at this dress or this shirt and then come out with this evening gown?
Well, what she does a lot of times is she will look at a dress that she likes from like an expensive store or, you know, whatever. Okay. And then she will say, okay, I really like this dress. How can I recreate this dress on a budget? And then she'll go to a thrift store and find something in that vein. And then she'll sort of look at the pattern or whatever for the dress that she actually likes, the one that was too much money, and then she'll make it.
Did she go to fashion school?
No.
She just started doing this on her own?
She's just into that. It's just so odd.
So my brain isn't there yet. Because one thing that I've noticed is that when you talk creative, because even I've told you and I've told other people, and y'all are just like, you are so creative. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Not. You are.
Not totally. At all.
I think you are.
I'm a nerd, like you said, geeking out.
That's true, but I don't know.
So I'm not there yet. Like I see people go to thrift stores and like pick up stuff and I'm just like, how did you get that from that? Like I would have never thought to pick up this t-shirt and be like, oh, I'm going to make a pantsuit out of this. Like, so my brain is still like, oh, I like this pattern that I've seen. Let me find the pattern to recreate. Let me go buy the fabric to do what I'm trying to execute. Hopefully one day I'll get to that point.
I think it's just levels. Like I think once you're like comfortable with making with patterns and stuff, then you'll be like, oh wait, I can totally make this out of this.
I can't wait to start draping. Just like, oh, here's this fabric. Let me drape it on you, and then make this an amazing outfit. But enough about me, Brittney. We're talking about you. How is everything with you going?
Everything is good. So recently, I started a new job. I'm in like broadcast production, the production world. So
sounds like a producer about to be for my show.
Okay, girl. Let's not even go there. Have my people call your people, but no, but yeah, so I just started a new job, and it's cool. Like, it's in production. It's a little bit closer in line with what I'm trying to do, so that's been good. But you know that transitionary period of trying to go from one job to the next, and you're like getting used to the scene, to the people, which thankfully the people that I work with are really cool.
Amazing.
But it's just like, I don't know, it's just learning all of the things that I have to learn for this job, or like how they do things, sort of their, you know, like, you know, the general gist of what your title or what you're like, supposed to be doing, right, exactly, in your field, and then you go from place to place, and there's such a learning curve everywhere,
right?
So it's like adjusting to that. Plus, I've been just trying to get better at production in general, trying to read more, because one of my producers was like, if you're not reading, how can you write good scripts? And I was like, you're totally right. Like,
I didn't even think about that,
because he was like, if I know I'm not reading enough, if I'm not, like, my scripts are not going well, or if I'm dry, I'm not thinking of things, my creativity is kind of low, it's because I'm not reading. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So you're actually writing scripts?
Sometimes, from time to time. I have this one script that I like have picked up and put down for months, for at this point maybe a year or two, and I will like come back to it, and then I'll not do anything with it, and I'll just keep doing that back and forth.
But so I wanted to write scripts as well at one point.
Really? Of course you did, because why would you not? That's in true Monica fashion.
I did that in a book. I started writing a book, and just like, I have it there, just like sitting.
Right. It's so hard. It's because you constantly have to like commit yourself to that creativity. And I also have a friend who's in production, and he's just like, he writes every day. Even if he doesn't feel like writing, he just will write at least a page. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, because you have to get in that pattern and in that habit of writing, even when you don't necessarily want to write, or you don't feel inspired to write. It just becomes something that you do, and it's not that you like have to do it, you're forced to do it, but it just becomes part of your life, you know?
Right.
Not just something that you do passing time whenever you want to, like when you feel like picking it up.
That's so dope, man.
I'm still not that like organized and like structured to do it that way, but I'm trying to get to that.
Yo, 10-year Brittney of you, 10 years older Brittney of you is like, girl, we got this. I've already written like five books. What you talking about? In scripts and
I'm like, TV. Yo, 10. I'm hoping. And also, I don't know, this is so off topic, but do you feel a sense of urgency to like get something done because the decade is ending? Do you know what people keep saying? Like, oh, we're going into a new decade. Like, people just I keep hearing these cliches, like, we're going into a new decade, don't be afraid, or we're going into this new decade, get that thing done. Or,
is the new decade coming?
Yes. Shawty, do you not? Wait, okay. This is 2019. Oh, boy. We're going into 2020 now.
The next year. That's all I've been thinking.
You haven't.
But you know what's funny? Now you're saying that, because so I got laid off in April.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out. Wasn't even worried about it. Wasn't stressed, anything like that. And then, as the job started rolling in, like, people was like, oh, I have an idea for you. I have something, started talking to me about like different things they wanted me to do. I was just like, yo, 2020 is going to be crazy for me.
Yeah.
Constantly just saying it. And it's so funny that 2020 is a new decade.
2020 is a new decade. And literally, it's so new for you.
And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like, I'm going into 2020 like.
But I guess that's why you're not hearing the cliches, because you like, I'm already going into 2020 locked and loaded.
Yo, mad jobs.
Hey.
Still not making billions, but whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be cool, but it's definitely gonna be crazy.
Oh, it is.
It's definitely and then I've already like said 2021, I'm coming off of all these committees and I'm sticking to this one. Because I'm also I report to myself twice within Wake Eden.
Right. You report to yourself twice. You report to yourself twice?
Twice, yeah. So there's Missions and Justice, Missions Unit Leader, that's me. Executive Minister, that's me.
Odd. So you can't say it's above me,
right?
Well, it isn't, because I'm it. You are the above.
Like if anyone wants to report me, they have to come to me to report me.
Let me speak to your manager. Oops, I am the manager.
Well, you want to speak to her manager? I'm here again. I'm right here. Tell me what you want.
Oh,
yeah, it's a very bad situation.
So trippy.
And when I was speaking to the different people, I was just like, why didn't you tell me like this was going to be the flow? Because had I had known or foreseen it, I could have been like, no, I'm not going to sit on that one, but I'll sit on this one.
Right.
Like, what?
Because maybe they didn't even think about that far ahead either.
I'm just like, it is what it is at this point.
Right.
So cool. Anything else you want to tell us, update us about, or just fill us in about?
That's it at the moment. Everything else is the same. Well, yeah. Nothing is else worth sharing.
Okay, so a couple of questions before we get started, so people can get to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
Here on Balance and Sanity, as I have shared with you, we talk mostly dating, but we also do life, relationship, friendships. Okay. Just that interpersonality skills, interpersonal skills. Are you currently single, dating, talking, whatever you young kids drive with now?
This is talking. I am single.
Okay.
Very single.
Very single.
Oh, I just moved the mic. Sorry.
No worries. Maybe not ready to mingle, but it's fine.
I'm ready to mingle.
These guys out here are crazy.
No, I know. Oh. I mean, I'm ready to mingle, but it's also just like it's like when you have your like toe and you're just dipping your toe in the pool because you're like, oh, I know this is shark infested waters, but I'm hoping there's some part of this water that's like okay. Gotcha. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. So you still have hope.
I still have hope. I mean, I have friends that are in relationships with seemingly nice people. And I'm like, all right, okay, so if there's one, then there's gotta be a couple. Where there's one, there's a few.
So I hear you on that, but I think also because I started dating younger. Yeah. So we started when I was in high school. It was like the thing to do. Like your parents like pushed you.
To date?
To date.
In high school?
In high school, because remember the 90s, it was like you got married young.
Oh, that's true.
Or like at least people tried to push you to get married young and have your kids and start your family. Now it's like, okay, if you're like 40 and still single, right? Like nobody's hounding you. So back then, like a lot of us just got married early, and so like the ones that I'm just like, yo, I would so pimp you out right now. They're married happily with kids, and it's just like, damn. If you weren't like my brother to me, I'd date you.
You would date, right? But that's the thing. I'm like, a lot of these nice guys are already taken, but I'm like, there's gotta be more than just this one, right?
Outside of New York, I feel like there is.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just need to leave this like
somebody else.
This borough, this. I guess. I mean, because I have met some guys from other states, or even when you are in this state, New York, and then you find people who just so happen to be here, but they're not from here. Right. You could tell the difference. It's like you could smell it off of them.
Yeah.
You know, like
when we go to their place.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you're a New Yorker. Yeah. Why? Because you're impatient and upsetting.
Oh, people just say because of the way I speak. They're just like, you're from New York. I'm just like, how can you tell?
I guess it's the way you speak, and also we're just so. I think we have this natural, like, fast-paced nature.
So
to
go
us.
Nowhere.
Right. We're just like, we gotta go. It's like, where are you going? I don't know, but I just gotta go.
Right. Somebody had explained to me the reason why we're such in a fast pace is because in the wintertime we're always trying to get indoors.
True that.
And I was just like, True
I that. Never thought but about I think that. Everybody in this city is in a hustle. Like, everybody's hustling for something. Do you not feel that way?
Now, maybe. 10 years ago, no. We were just going
Oh, yeah. It might be different now.
Yeah, it's a totally different feel now because I feel like people now, because entrepreneurship has definitely like taken off.
That is very true.
People are on a different vibe, spiel, move, whatever.
Right.
10 years ago, let me tell somebody I know I'm starting a business. You
like, what? You starting a who?
Right? Like you got another job? Because unless you have the other job, don't do that.
Right.
But yeah, so back to Brittney, just prying into your life.
And keep prying. I don't mind.
No problem. Just to give people a little bit of understanding of when we start talking, like where you are, especially when it comes to like dating.
I'm single.
Have you ever had a boyfriend?
I feel like I haven't had a serious boyfriend. Okay. Let's put it that way. I've dated around, but I haven't had like a serious relationship where I'm like, okay, this is really like a pivotal relationship in my life. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I haven't had that pivotal, like, oh, this is a game-changing relationship.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, no worries. So the other thing too is that just wanted to know, have you ever had like a bad dating experience or a breakup, quote unquote?
A breakup.
Or like a bad breakup?
No, I haven't. Okay, so most of like my breakups, again, because I did say like with the huge like stipulation that I have not had a super serious relationship, they've all been pretty amicable, and they've a lot of the times been more on me. Like I've been the one like instigating the breakup.
Wow.
I've been usually the person who's like, man, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, or sometimes it's been more like, I don't know. We just generally, it's very clear that we just not vibing really. Yeah. Or it's me saying, I don't think this is working.
I like the fact that you're able to do that.
Really?
Even at such a young age, because when, I'm trying to think about like when I was growing up, a lot of the times we females weren't the ones to do the breakup. It was like the guys that was just like, it's not you, it's me, you know, that cliche from TV. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times it was, I don't know if we were as independent or able to deal with not having a boyfriend, because everybody we knew had a boyfriend. So therefore you had to be in a relationship, and it was like the thing to do.
Right. And I feel like it's a slippery slope though, because I feel like, oh, that's great that I'm kind of in tune with what I like and what I don't like. And, you know, I kind of have a good sense of that. I'm not like, they're still trying to figure it out, but I have a decent sense of it. The thing I don't like though is sometimes I'm like, am I not giving people a chance? And am I just really way too picky? I don't want to say if I'm way too picky, but for lack of a better way of saying it, am I just being way too picky? And like, even if a decent guy comes my way or a nice guy comes my way, am I just like kind of dismissing him?
Because you have standards?
Because I have, right. Like, are my standards like, am my standards like upper echelon? Like, am I asking for a lot and not giving like nice people a chance? That's what I'm like.
I feel you. I can understand that. So I would think, because I've always told people like, oh, you know, as I got older, I started making a list. And a lot of my friends was like, what is on your list? Your list is the reason why you're single. And when I send them the list, they're just like, I don't know why you're single. Right. Like, right. Why are you single? And everything I ask for has nothing to do with looks, all about character.
Right.
And it's just like, my standards can't be that high if I'm not asking for like materialistic things, the way you look, whether or not you're from this country. Like, what? Honesty can't be hard to come by. Loyalty. Like, these are things that should be.
These are things that you would think are like, okay, the basic level, and now we're getting into the deeper stuff.
Right.
And it's like, even the basic level stuff is like, can't find that. That's real difficult.
Girl, let me tell you.
It's hard out here.
And I'm going to be 40 soon.
Girl.
I know.
But do you think that guys in your age range are
idiots? Yes.
I was going to say the polar opposite. I was like, are they a little bit more mature? Well, they're older, so
they're more mature?
Is it less bleak in your age range than in my age range?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if it's comparable either. I don't know if it's the same or if it's more in mine and less in yours. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're equal. I just know that the older I get, the less and less it's becoming viable. And the reason I say that is because, one, a lot of them my age range are either married, in a relationship already.
Right.
A lot of them have kids. I have no kids. My goal was never to be a stepmom. So for me, I knock out a whole lot of people. And people tell me all the time, like, yo, you never know. People. The one thing I will do, though, is if you were married, had a child, divorced, significant other divorced, passed away, that I will contend.
Okay.
I will give you the time of day. But if you are just out here knocking up people, chuck them deuces.
This is not for you. And I kind of get that though. I mean, like, that's just a lot. And I always want to. I'm always thinking about the kids. Like, yo,
right?
How many relationships has this kid been in?
Yo,
like, you know what I'm saying?
How many partners have you met?
How many partners have you met?
Can you write a book? 10-year-old. I need you to write the book about your life because I want to hear about it.
Daddy's 20th girlfriend.
Right.
No, like.
So yes, I think it's that. I also think when it comes to dating in my age group, the men are more what is that word? I can't remember that word, but they have this expectation that because they're coming to you, that you need to give them this I don't know what it is, like anything they throw at you, even if they throw the filth at you, you must be grateful because they came to you and they came to seek you out with this filth. And I'm just like, what?
Seek you out with this filth. I mean, it's so true though. I think especially I've seen this a lot and it's very disheartening. Like decent guys. And I'm not even talking like these are nice, great guys. These are just guys that are just scraping by on just being kind of okay. Like they bathe and they have a job. That's what that is their top qualities at the moment. That is like the distinguishing qualities of them. And they are just rolling around here thinking, oh my God, any girl would be glad to have me because I smell good and I got money.
Right.
Do you remember Poetic Justice?
Yes.
That's the guy I'm thinking of. The Tupac's
the friend
coworker.
Yes.
Who just was he just worked at the post office. No shade to anybody who works at the post office. It's a great job. But that was the only thing, and he was like buff. Right. That was the only thing that he brought to the table.
Right.
And he just thought,
I'm God's gift. Like, you're supposed to. Yes.
And it's just like, but that's it.
Like, bro, I need you to relax all the way down. I think
guys also know how bleak it is for women. So any kind of okay guy is just like, well, it's hard out here, ain't it?
I don't think it's that. I think it's because of all the chicks that allowed them to get away with it.
True.
So and now they're just like,
it's
what?
Like a cycle.
You're expecting more from me, more than I'm expecting of myself? Like, how dare you?
You know how many girls would want my half goodness?
Right. Because I got this car out here.
Right.
And I'm just like,
I bathe 2 times a day.
Not that one.
How many women would want me because of that? And you trying to have me be better than this?
Right.
How can I get better than this?
Like, I'm already the best I can be. And it's like,
barely.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. It's been a pleasure meeting you, sir.
Thank you. See yourself.
Okay. So good. Thank you for filling us in and giving us a little idea about you and everything. So into our topic for today. So we have 2 topics. Hopefully we get to both. So the first topic for today is Google. Ooh. Do you know, sidebar, that YouTube is actually the now number 1 way people search instead of Google?
Really?
Yeah, I found that out from Google, but
I believe that because a coworker of mine and I were talking today, and I was like saying like, oh, we were talking about like figuring out something, and I was like, oh, you could just YouTube it unless you're not a visual learner. Right. And she said, I think pretty much everyone's a visual learner at this point. You know? Right. Valid point. Right. Which I'm guessing that's why it's the most sort of, sought after search engine, because it's like people are visual learners. Yeah. So it's easier to just watch a video of somebody doing something
as opposed to me having to learn it myself.
Like Google like words.
Yeah.
To, like, go through stuff
and then have to sit here and read this page long. Just get to the point.
Right. It's just easier when you see it in a video.
Yeah.
We're just so accustomed to that format now.
Very, very true. Okay, so now that we're talking about Google, have you ever Googled someone before dating?
Oh yeah, all the time. Googled, I've social media searched them, I've LinkedIn searched, I've done the whole 9, and I'd venture to say I'm quite good.
I'm sorry. We got to go back.
Should I be embarrassed to say
maybe no, you shouldn't.
Okay, because I'm not.
I think maybe it's a generation thing.
Maybe it probably is,
because I have a friend of mine. She works at she was a coworker of mine. I'm talking about this girl will Google, and so this is not even for dating. Like, excuse me, she is very much of a Black power to the people. Anytime a cop does something, she Googling. I wouldn't say Google, but she's PIing it. Like it's nobody's business.
Oh,
like we've told her, you need to quit this and start your own company. Like that's how bad, how good she is, how bad she is in a good way. There was somebody that did something. This girl found the sister, the uncle, the auntie.
Wow.
The mother that was like removed.
Honestly, she's in the wrong profession, girl.
Son. And I'm just like,
for the FBI.
Right. Like, you need to tell them your skills is on point. I'm talking about she found people that had their pages blocked, all that.
She has the receipts.
Son. And these are people that did nothing to her. Imagine if somebody had done something to her personally or her family.
Right.
And so she's on that era of Googling. Mm-hmm. So even like talking to her about just the Googling people and things like that, she's all for it. Like, I'm Googling my behind away. Yeah. And Google just meaning search, because that's our word for search now.
Right.
I can't bring myself to do that.
Why not?
It's not my first thought. It's like, I met you, we contacted, we spoke on the phone, I've asked you my questions, let's go out on a date, let's do this interaction. Mm-hmm. And then even after I do all of that, I'm still not I'm not Facebook friending you. Don't request that for me. And if you do, you're going to stay there in the request. Right.
I'll preface this by saying I'm not very social media savvy, but I will use it for the purposes of doing a little snoopity snoop. And the reason being, and I think the main reason why I'm snoopity snooping is because I just want to know what I'm getting myself into. I really want to know your whole life story, because I do want there to be some element of surprise. Right. But also, I just want to make sure you don't seem to be in a relationship or you're not a mass murderer. You know what I'm saying? Just a standard, like, because you never really know out here. And it's not that you'll necessarily find that out in a Google search. Right. But as much like basic level stuff as I can.
People are idiots though. So I feel like you would find that in a Google search.
You'll find some things out. And it's just like, at this point, all right, now it's just a convenient way of me not wasting my time with people who are like a convenient way of eliminating absolute no's.
So I'm going to put you onto something and you're going to laugh, because I feel like you don't know this about me, right? Like my mutual friends, food is very important to me.
Yes.
I'm going out on this date for this free meal.
I didn't know that about you, but I believe that's believable. I'm also not shocked by that revelation.
Yeah, I'm going out for this free meal. I'm going to go for this free meal.
You find out this man
I'm going to be annoyed by you the entire time I'm there. But this meal...
also, it's a free meal though.
Yo.
Can you imagine if you did all of that for this free meal and he actually like kind of insinuates that you should pay? Can you?
I'm not understanding that question.
Like, doesn't compute in my mind.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what words you're using right now.
Do you not understand what I'm saying?
I don't.
I'm saying like...
No, I get what you're saying. Okay, I just don't understand it.
Like, it happens.
I'm sorry that we're going out on a date.
And this man will sort of be expecting you to pay.
Pay for who, myself?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like,
if I pay for myself, this is not a date. This is two friends going out and doing Dutch.
Two people.
Right.
Right.
And we're sharing a table.
Honestly, that's probably not the weirdest, not even on the top 10 weirdest things that would have happened at a date, that a guy insinuates that you should pay for yourself.
I've never had that.
I've never had it either, but I know people who have had that experience.
I've also had people tell me that a guy wants to see them. I actually I've had guys tell me that they want to see a girl reach for the wallet. Reach for what? I'm going to reach for this tissue to blow my nose, wipe my face.
I think, isn't that a weird formality or like weird like tradition that we have culturally that it doesn't, I don't know why we do this. It's like the same drill. It's kind of, we do the same song and dance like at every first date. Or you know, first dates where it's obviously expected that the guy's going to pay.
Oh, I do that.
The women are just like, no, let me, and then the guy's like, don't worry about it, I got it. When the woman knew full well when she went into her purse that she wasn't expecting to actually take out. She didn't even bring her wallet, her money or her cards with her, but she's just like, let me just make it look like I'm trying to.
So that is actually something new. When I growing up, that was not a thing.
You wouldn't even take anything out?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to the bathroom while the check comes. Like, what?
Or like, what is that? There's just like this awkwardness in that moment. And it's like, we're on a date, like you said. Like, I'm going into a date expecting that. Here's my thing. If you ask me out on a date, I expect you to pay for me. And if I asked you out on a date,
agreed,
I would pay for you.
But see, that's new as well. Because back then, like...
Is it that back then a woman would not ask a man to go out on a date, or a woman would ask a man to go out on a date, but she would still expect that man to pay?
I don't know. I don't remember or recall hearing much about women asking men out.
Okay.
But I feel like at the time where this tradition has come from, if we go out, I'm not bringing it, or I'm bringing cash just in case you're crazy. But
regardless of the circumstances,
this meal is on you.
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough. And I'm just like, if I'm sort of, I'm expecting this date, or I'm inviting you out on this date, I'll pay, because I'm asking you to go out with me.
We're going for coffee.
Right.
And when you come, when you pay,
absolutely.
Right. And then when you pay, we going for this lobster dinner.
Right. Like, I'm taking you on a date to the park. We're just going to sit in Central Park and have a nice long chat. Meanwhile, if you're taking me out, actually, we are going to the fanciest restaurant.
We're going to Hell's Kitchen.
Or at least Cheesecake Factory.
Really?
I don't know. I just, in my head, I'm thinking of that Drake song. That's like, oh, find me a cheesecake.
I don't listen to Drake.
There. I don't either. But like, he's one of those artists that like you quote because
you drive?
Hear it everywhere. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do. I'm sorry. That was like a dumb question because I didn't know that. I think that's the difference. I don't drive, so I don't listen to the radio.
I don't listen to the radio either, but I guess it's because if you're around people who
listen to it,
or you just hear it all the time.
I
don't even know if there's certain songs like that song that's that really popular song from the summer with the Cowboys. Oh God, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be mad if I don't remember.
You talking about Nas X?
Yeah, I'm gonna. What is it?
I don't know the song, but I know his name because they were talking about him on.
Right, that song. I've never heard that song in full.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the song, but I know the song because I've heard it so many times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Same with Drake. I digress. But anyway, yes, that's the expectation. If you're taking me out on a date, we're going somewhere swanky. If I'm taking you out on a date,
going to Starbucks.
Let's just walk around in a museum. This is just more of a get to know you kind of date.
But you see the difference in your meetup versus his meetup? Like yours is like, although it's really simple, there is like expectations to this. At the end of this, I'm going to know who you are. Like we're going to have conversation. It's going to be eventful. A dinner and the movies.
It's really hard to, like, I don't like movie dates as a first date because I'm just like, at what point? I mean, I guess it's good because it opens the line of conversation afterwards. At least we could talk about the music, the movie. If
we go to dinner.
Right, that's true. But like you picking me up and then we go into this movie and you dropping me off, that's whack.
But do you realize how much time we've spent during just the dating with the dinner and movie versus just the dinner? Because like the movie is 2.5 hours.
Right.
Now the dinner is an hour. So I've spent 3.5 hours with you, 4 hours tops, depending.
Right.
With you, as opposed to just the dinner for an hour.
That's true.
I didn't think about that till just now.
But I guess what would you rather? Would you rather go to a movie and a dinner, but at least you'll have something to talk about because of the movie at the dinner, or go through an hour long, that's like a 3-hour event?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather do a movie, just a dinner, and it be like stumbling and awkward straight through?
So I'm not awkward.
No, I know that.
No, so like even
but
for
what
me,
if the guy is?
That's on you. I don't care.
But if one person's awkward in an interaction, it's an awkward interaction.
So for me, I've never grasped that, because there's been many a times that my sister's just like, this is awkward. And I'm like, what? There's just silence. Like, I'm not understanding. She's like, yeah, the silence is awkward. I was like, what makes it awkward? She was like, because no one's speaking. I have nothing to say.
You don't mind silence. I don't necessarily mind silence either. I'm like, if it's a comfortable silence. But I mean, like, if the conversation's awkward, like what you're conversing about is awkward.
I've never had that.
Really? Mm-hmm. You've never had like a person who was just awkward and the conversation was just odd and off-putting? Oh, I guess you wouldn't qualify that as awkward. You just qualify as off-putting.
Yeah, and I'll let you know, like, I'm not talking about that. Let's move on.
And then you've just made it awkward. You're never feeling awkward because you're the one making it awkward at every event and occasion.
So it's my fault.
We're together, or we're on a date, and then you're like, I'm not talking about that, and I'm like, oh, all right.
It's my fault. You're
pivoting.
Right. You're right.
In 3, 2, 1.
But you know what it is too? I find that whenever I go on dates, especially now that I'm older, it is, it feels more like a friendship. than anything. Like me and this person has been friends because I just have that like down to earth vibe. Like everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're like one of the guys, and I'm like, here we go again. All right,
but
thanks.
That's not what
it's been real. Thank you for this meal.
That's like what do I equate everything to a song and a movie? But that Just Right, that movie with shoot. Now I can't remember.
Is it Queen Latifah?
Queen Latifah and Common. Where like at the beginning
that movie was so unrealistic.
It is very unrealistic, but I related so heavily to the beginning where she just kept on going on dates where these guys would treat her as homie, and she went on this one date and she's like, oh, this is going so well, we're vibing, like it just seemed right. And then afterward he was just like, can't wait to hang out with you, like totally as a friend.
Yeah.
And it was just like, ugh, always friend zone.
Yeah, I get friend zoned all the time.
But you do have a very homey sort of demeanor.
I'm okay with it now.
But it's good. I kind of, maybe not as much as you, but I have that sort of vibe as well. Like I approach any relationship that I've been in, most of the time has been people that I was friends with first.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Right, that's true. But you know, some people have like an energy where they attract people, and it could just be strangers. Like I don't understand that. Doesn't compute in my head. Like people who meet strangers and they just start a relationship with a person that they didn't know. Like they just like their relationship, like their whole relationship sprung off of like
they swiped left, went on this one date.
Right. And it's like this has been romantic from the jump. Like every relationship I've ever been in, it's been like a friendship that turned romantic.
So then how do you deal with friendships that are no longer romantic?
There's only one that I've had that like actually lasted, and that was just like we were that strong of friends. But then most of the time it just obviously sort of dissolves, or we're cool, but we're not nearly as cool as we were, because that element of you know
it
kind of like tears apart.
I feel you, and that's the sucky part, because like sometimes like I had one where we started off with friends, but I also was like, so I'm like, I feel like I should have been born a boy, point blank period. Because like I met him and I was talking to Alvin about him, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I really like him. I'm going to go after him.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of like the legwork, trying to just like be friends. Like I wasn't necessarily trying to be friends, but I was just like, oh, I want to see where this goes, like build on it.
Trying to be in your orbit.
Right. And we were cool. I'm talking about we were like, anything that went down, I would call him, he would call me. Like we were on that vibe.
Yeah.
Ended up started talking. Now I don't even speak to him.
Wow.
Just like, what are we talking about? I have nothing to tell you. Like we're not even cool.
It's so hard. It's like usually if you start a relationship with a friend, be prepared for it to crash. Like not that it will, but if it does, it will crash and burn a lot of the time. Yeah,
I have one that I'm still like cool with him. Like I'll call him every so often just to see what he's doing and see how he's hanging. And we're talking about years.
Yeah, I think that's also part of it. Like if this is a person that you dated once and you're not dating anymore and you guys were friends first, sometimes it's like, if you really are good friends, sometimes you just need time.
Yeah.
And it's not like you can't be friends again, but you just need time apart. And then you can like maybe revisit the friendship at a later date.
Right.
Like it can't be immediate.
Yeah, I agree. Weird. I agree. I said like a year to like breathe.
Yeah.
Should be cool. Okay, so any other thing you had to say about the Googling?
I'm kind of, it's conflicting. Like I'm for Googling because I do it, but I also hear the points of like, nah, maybe not. But I think the one thing about Googling that's bad is you will always find something if you look hard enough.
Ugh. Ain't that the truth?
Like if I'm like looking through this guy's whole history, I'm going to find something that is going to upset me or make me off-put by it.
So let me ask you this. If you are Googling, right, this guy that you're dating, and you realize like he liked an ex picture, one of his ex's picture, how would you feel?
Like how recently?
Like how recently what? That
he liked the ex's picture?
Yesterday.
Oh. I mean, it depends, because like we're talking about what we were just talking about, friendships with exes. Sometimes you're so cool with the ex,
right?
It doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything going on. If you're liking all of your ex's picture, hold up, wait a minute, maybe it's like maybe you should just be with your ex or revisit that conversation. But like if you just like one picture, because I'm not gonna be salty. Like if my ex posts a fire pic, I mean, or you do something that's exciting or cool or interesting, like we might be exes, but we'll recognize real. You know what I'm saying? Like I can still respect that what you just did was cool.
Yo, you took that bomb photo.
Right. Or like this cool thing happened in your life. I'm like, okay, props to you. Congrats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because sometimes a like is just more of just like, oh, that's nice. I acknowledge that that's a cool thing that happened to you.
Right. I feel like people take on likes too much. Their world revolves around it.
There's too much weight put in a like.
Did you hear that they're trying to take away like now? So you're no longer going to be able to see the number of people that liked your photos?
I think that will really, not that it's going to destroy Instagram or anything can destroy these social medias, but I think that will really make people upset. Because I think most of the reason why people post is because they're looking to see how many people like it. That's why they post. Not because they want other people like, hey, look at all these cool things happening in my life. It's like, hey, I want to see how many people think what I'm doing is cool.
Gotcha. They started doing it in Australia already, I heard.
Do you think that half of the people who post, or what a percentage of people who post on Instagram consistently do you think would not post if they didn't know that if they couldn't see that gratification, if they couldn't see how many people like it? Do you think people would post nearly as much?
That's a very good question. I think it depends on who's posting. So like if you do businesses, I think they will be fine with it because as long as they still have their followers and people are still purchasing merchandise, I think they'll be fine. I think when it comes to the influencers, the vain ones, the ones that survive off the likes, like if no one likes the photo, they're taking it down to redo the photo to then put it up. I think those people.
But then there's a difference too, because we're talking about a business. Like whether you like my picture or not, I'm getting these like real life likes because I know you're like you're supporting my business.
But then also with the likes comes the sponsors for businesses.
That's true.
So it's like each person has their reasoning for the likes. But I feel when it comes to individual influencers, like they would be the ones to be hit the hardest because when sponsors may not reach out or will be reaching out more, but for them that are striving off like the approval from these likes, like you were saying, I think those are the people that's gonna mind, not the ones that's doing it out there to help this girl that's having issues. Right. They're posting it mainly because somebody out there is having these issues, whether it be body, skin, hair, whatever. They're posting it for them. Yeah. They would be fine because it's like, absolutely. Now I don't have to revolve all of this around my likes. I'm still doing it for that one person, and that one person's gonna DM me, message me, whatever. But the people that are like literally, like I've watched this thing called Jawline, and it's a documentary about influencers or people trying to become influencers. And one girl is just, to me, it was just like, did we really come to this?
Are we really
like
at this point?
Is this life? Because one kid was like on tour and he's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm on tour trying to do all this thing. And he comes back to his regular home in like Iowa. Oh. And he's like, oh, swung back to reality. I had to leave school because now I had to get this job. And now people are coming up to me like, oh, weren't you on this show and this, that, the third? And he's like, I feel so depressed. And I'm just like, huh? What?
So wait, this is a person who was just like their fame sprung from them being an influencer. Like they're not like a singer or they don't have any discernible thing.
No. So he's actually, the show is about people trying to become influencers.
Got you.
But there's also influencers on the show. And there's one guy, he's like a manager of influencers. So he has like this big house in California and he brings people that want to be influencers to live with him for an extended amount of time.
I know who this is. And he's young.
Yeah.
Jake Paul.
I think that's his name.
This is like, yeah.
And so the show revolves around him and like other people. And you just see what they do and you hear them talking. I'm just like, yo, you're causing yourself the mental issues that you're having.
It is like, it's insane the way that and it's so sad when you think about like how these kids, especially these kids who are striving to be influencers, how their mind works. Right. Because the same thing that they're striving for is the same thing that's causing so much mental destruction.
Yeah.
it's just like such a slippery slope.
It is. Yeah, I don't, for me personally, and I think maybe it's a good thing I wasn't born in this era, because I probably would have been, as geeky as I am, I probably would have been in there like trying
like,
to,
about it.
Right.
Right.
And even for me with my business and with my personal, the last time I post, I can't even tell you because I'm not trying to build this content. I'm not trying to come up with an essay to put in my bio. I'm not trying to have this comment be on fleek so that so I can get 12 million likes. Like,
I'm the same way. I don't post very frequently at all. And it's one of those things where because I'm in production, I kind of really, that is a good platform for me to really like get involved and like build a network. But it's just so hard. Like my inherent reaction is not to want to post things. Like when I do something or I'm somewhere, my inherent reaction is not like, oh, I really want to post this. I really want people to see where I'm at. Like sometimes I'll do like a story or something, but it's just like, I don't really care if you know what I'm doing.
And it's also like the first thing for you is not to take a picture, it's to enjoy the moment.
Right. Oh my goodness. So true. Like a lot of the time it's just like, I just want to remember this, like how it is. And I don't want anything to distract me from this memory.
Right.
And I feel like me taking this picture takes me a little bit away from like.
Yeah. Cause now you got to focus to make sure the lighting, the this, the that, the that, the that. And I'm just like, I'm over it.
Or like, you know what I do all the time? And I'm like, why do I do this? I'll take videos of things that are happening. And then I'm like, wait, I'm never even gonna watch this video. In truth, how many videos of the videos in your phone that you recorded?
Oh,
do you actually watch?
I watch a lot of them. Let me tell you, there's one.
It's me who I don't watch.
There is one that I was going to a party. It was me, Tasha, Crystal, and another girl named Crystal, and I watch it every year. I kid you not. Like anytime something is going on, I just watch it, and it's a video, and you can't really see nothing because it's a black video, very bad. This is back when our phones had 2 megapixel cameras. And Tasha is up on the snow, like trying to chip it away with the back of her heel so we can park the car in. And she almost slips and busts her butt. Yo, every year I watch the video and I send it to her. And she's like, you still have that video? And I'm like, I'm not deleting this.
It brings me so much.
Right. Like, why would I delete this? This is a video that I need to keep forever in life. True. So videos like that, I'll keep. Like videos where I'm having moments with other friends, I'll keep. Videos where I'm just like out and about and I'm taping this.
Some brother's wedding. I'm recording like this concert I went to.
Right.
I'm not listening. I'm not watching this again. Why did I record this for 10 hours?
Unless it's like my first concert ever. I don't even know if I still have that video. When I went to Dave Crowder Band, it was my first concert ever.
Dave Crowder Band was your first concert ever? Wow, Monica.
I'm not a concert person. I just don't, too many people standing. Nah, I'm good. And so I ended up going by myself, which was like outside of my element.
So for your first concert to go by yourself.
Right. So that one I recorded and I had so much fun. It was a blast.
Will
I do it again? No.
Because of being alone?
Right.
Okay. I just feel like that's so awkward.
I also moved to a whole other country by myself, so.
Yeah, sure.
The awkwardness is not anything that...
Right, that's again, you've moved past that stage of, like, you don't get fazed by that sort of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna... Oh, I just want to ask you... Yes! I'm gonna do 7 questions.
Okay. Is this normally an hour?
Yeah, it's normally an hour.
We touched on a lot of things.
We do.
Maybe I talk too much.
No, it's fine. I love when people just come and talk because then it just gives me less things to have to think about.
Nice.
I'm all about that. Yo, I'm all about lazy. Like, I don't understand why people just be like, oh, Monica. And I'm just like, don't know Monica me because...
Laziness is an art form.
Yo.
I'm trying to master it.
I'm about that, but yet I love to multitask. How crazy is that?
I know, you're an enigma.
Mm-hmm. That's my friend's like name, like on everything he posts.
Enigma?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Very different. Which questions do I want to ask you? Ooh, I think this one. This is gonna be good. So this segment is pretty much called Quick Draw.
Okay.
So in Quick Draw, you cannot think about your answers.
Okay.
You just have to answer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I typically like to ask 7 questions. I don't know why 7.
7 is the number of perfection.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Jesus. So 7 questions. And you just have the first answer that comes to your head. You just got to answer, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Are you living a meaningful life?
Yes.
What's the one thing you cannot live without?
My friends.
When is it acceptable?
It's not true. Keep going, let's go.
When is it acceptable, if ever, to disobey the law?
When the law is not correct. When the law that's put in place is not right.
What do you want your final words to be?
Oh goodness. I want it to be like, I'm thinking about it now. But I know the words, but I can't think of it. Like I don't know. Like, I can't think of one. I'm sorry. I can't. It is finished. Or something of the fact that, like, I hope the life that I lived served the purpose for which I was put here to do.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Christ, I hope you're pleased with the life that I lived. Like, I hope I did what I was supposed
to. So profound.
That's the lot. I probably would, if this is my last breath, I probably wouldn't get all that out. But you know what I mean? That's something in that vein.
You could do it like a movie actressy way, just like, and come back like,
I'm back. All right. I'm now officially logging out the chat.
What inspires you the most?
Oh, man. People who are on their A game. Like people who are really striving for something, and regardless of what it is, and they're working really hard. That inspires me a lot.
That's dope.
I'm so inspired by that.
What do you think are the 5 most beautiful things in the world, and why?
Oh, okay. And why? Whoa. Christ, because he's perfect. A child's laughter, because it's pure. A hardworking person, because it's just inspiring, as I said. We said 5. Mm-hmm. That's 3. What is that? 3? Home cooked meal, because it just takes you to a time. Oh. And the last one is something like comedy, because laughter is like therapeutic.
Those are dope though, by the way. Let me just tell you.
Thank you.
That was good. Snap.
Snap.
Okay, and the last question: what makes you feel most empowered?
Oh, I honestly, and I've said this like 8 times now, but I'm always empowered by like I always say this to you, but like you or like Siobhan, or like really immensely talented and women, especially Black women, who are striving and working hard and hustling. I'm empowered. Like I'm inspired. I'm empowered. I feel like this is like a community that I want to be a part of. Like, yo, I need to bring my game up the ante by like 1,000, because these women are out here doing the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Thing.
And I love it. Yes.
So thank you, Brittney, for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you for joining us today. Any last words you want to leave us with?
Thanks for having me. I hope you enjoy. I don't know. Thank you. This was cool. This is dope.
This is dope. Thanks, guys, for listening to another episode of Balance and Sanity with your girl, Monica.